Hello?
Who the hell is this?
Alex Shepard.
Alex Shepard? I thought you were in
Hello? Hello?
Stop.
ask yourself, where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Way out.
Forgive me. Where am I? What the hell? Hey! Josh! Josh? Josh, wait! Josh, wait!
Monster kill. 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 Kill.
I need to rewire this.
There's a room in here.
Josh? Are you in there?
No one comes to visit anymore.
Who are you?
I wish I could remember.
What are you doing in this hotel? This place should be condemned.
I can't leave. Not yet.
This is no place to be alone. You need to leave.
I lost something once dear to me. Now all I have is memories of the past, of better times, but I don't know where they are. I can't go until I have them. Will you help me?
Who left you here all alone? Everyone else is gone.
Don't blame them. You can understand, can't you? It's hard to watch something die.
Tell me what you need. I'll see what I can do.
So difficult to remember. The warm sunlight dancing on the water. The smell of cotton candy in the air. And the sound of wind blowing through the trees. Find them for me, and I'll give you what you need.
How will I know when I found them?
3 small windows of better days. You'll know when you see them.
Okay, I'll look around.
You have a kind voice.
Right about now, you might be asking yourself, what the fuck is that neon pink and orange thing? And how the hell could anyone not see that coming from a mile away? Well, it's called the smog, and maybe Alex is going blind from hunger or something. Rave Ribs here is an odd creation. The son of Silent Hill 2's Lying Figures and the Silent Hill movie's Armless Man, the smog seems to be a walking, gaseous tumor, constantly spewing some kind of black smoke from its mouth. Some of its prominent features are its ribs, which stick out unnaturally and are able to bend in strange ways, as well as its head, which is stuck behind its body and has the worst case of goatsy face I have ever seen. The smog seems to be representative of black lung disease, an illness that occurs in coal mines. The disease occurs after prolonged exposure to coal dust and causes shortness of breath and chronic coughing. But if you look closely at the smoke that the smog emits, you'll notice flecks of embers flickering about. This possibly comes from the Silent Hill movie, where a coal fire rages beneath the town, which is why the place is a ghost town in the real world and constantly has ash falling from the sky. Side note, this is actually based on the true story of Centralia, Pennsylvania, where a coal fire has been burning in an underground mine since 1962. It appears that a botched landfill fire spread to a strip mine located nearby, which has since reduced the town's population from over 1,000 to 10. If you're interested in learning more about Centralia, I would recommend watching The Town That Was, a fantastic documentary about what it's like to live in a ghost town. Back to Silent Hill, sure the coal mine works for the movie, but what about Homecoming? Well, that's the weird thing, no one mentions anything about mines, ever. There's that busted down mine near Curtis's junkyard, and there are a few books related to mining in the town hall, but that's the extent of it. It's hard to say exactly why Double Helix chose this monster for Homecoming, but chances are they got some ideas from the Silent Hill movie and just ran with them. Smogs can be a real pain in the ass. Their health is substantial, requiring at least 3 to 4 times as many melee hits as previous creatures. Smogster also has numerous attacks that make him frustrating to fight toe-to-toe. Firstly, Smog smoke chokes blokes, stunning us until we mash the QTE to escape. This guy has 2 versions of his smoke spew, directional and area of effect. If we have some distance on the Smog, he'll always use directional smoke, which is easier to escape but hurts us over time. The AoE version of this attack is performed while in melee range, which doesn't damage Alex, but stuns him. Why? Well, Smogs don't have arms, so in lieu of knuckle sandwiches, they prefer McRibs. The reasoning behind Smogs being painful to fight in melee is because they were made for ranged combat. Well, you can beat them up in melee if you're forced to. It's just riskier and takes more time. By the way, Smogs can be stunned, and therefore you can perform a killing blow on them. It just happens rarely for some reason. Anyway, I don't know if you've noticed, but the Smog has neon lungs, which, if you look closely, have "shoot me" written all over them. When fighting a Smog, we'll equip the handgun and wait for him to ready his ranged smoke spew. When his lungs enlarge as they fill with air, they'll become vulnerable to attack, and if shot, will remove 30 to 50% of the Smog's total health. If done properly, a Smog can be downed with 2 handgun bullets on hard mode. I feel like I should mention that for some reason, whenever there's a Smog on screen, the game's frame rate will drop dramatically, even in cinematics. I say this because in certain cases, it makes ranged combat far more difficult than it ought to be. Sometimes the game has so much of a problem with Smogs, it refuses to register button presses. I can't tell you how many times I've missed a good lung shot because the game didn't register a trigger press. This might only be a problem with the PS3, but it's a pretty big one nonetheless. Finally, Silent Hill, where chances are, if you have Restless Dreams, you see it. Silent Hill in the movie was said to be in West Virginia, but in all the games it appears to be located in Maine, New England. Both Silent Hill and Shepherd's Glen border Toluca Lake, and though it's hard to pinpoint an exact location, it would seem that Shepherd's Glen is south or southwest of Quiet Hill. Silent Hill was always thought of as supernatural. To Native Americans, the Toluca Lake area was called the Place of Silenced Spirits, and was viewed as having a mysterious power. Considered a holy place, many ritual sacrifices were performed here. In the 17th century, British colonists forced the indigenous people from the area and began settling it until the 18th century, when a mysterious plague rendered the area barren. In the 1800s, people began to repopulate the Toluca Lake area, and it's around that time that Silent Hill was properly named. But as the town was repopulating, another plague ravaged the newcomers and put great pressures on the newly established Brookhaven Hospital. Around 1890, 4 families from Silent Hill, the Shepherds, Bartletts, Holloways, and Fitches, left to form the nearby town of Shepherd's Glen. This proved serendipitous, as with the coming of the 20th century, all hell would break loose. Due to prior events in Silent Hill, many in the town had formed a cult known as the Order. The Order would follow many of the beliefs that the original natives believed, and as their influence grew, so did the frequency of strange events around the town. Events like the disappearance of a ship named the Little Baroness as it traveled through Toluca Lake. Many similar disappearances would occur throughout the 1900s, few of them ever being solved. After the events of Silent Hill Origins, it was apparent that there was more to the town than anyone thought. Up until that point, the town had been gaining power, seemingly feeding on the misery that ran rampant through its streets. Then the Order got this amazing idea to create a chain of Kentucky Fried Kids, but that backfired as much as any evil plan would. Alessa, now original recipe Alessa, comes with slaw, would use her psychic powers to split herself, allowing half her soul to mesh with the town. This would turn Silent Hill into a living entity that calls to those with serious mental issues, once again feeding on pain and suffering. But whoa, hey, what about Shepherd's Glen? Well, for some reason, all of the people there got off scot-free until Alex's stupid face showed up. People were perfectly content passing time by naming all their streets after famous horror writers and directors. Streets like Scott Boulevard, named after Ridley Scott, famous for Alien. Kubrick Avenue, named after Stanley Kubrick, famous for The Shining.
Here's Johnny!
Carpenter Avenue, named after John Carpenter, famous for The Thing.
Clear!
Clear.
And Halloween. Craven Avenue, named after Wes Craven, famous for The Hills Have Eyes. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Please, God.
This is God.
And Scream.
Can you see me?
Listen, I am 2 seconds away from calling the police.
They'd never make it in time. We're out in the middle of nowhere.
What do you want?
To see what your insides look like.
Friedkin Road, named after William Friedkin, famous for The Exorcist. Lynn Street, named after Adrian Lynn, famous for Jacob's Ladder.
Eckhart saw hell too.
You know what he said? He said the only thing that burns in hell is the part of you that won't let go of your life. Your memories, your attachments. They burn them all away. But they're not punishing you, he said. They're freeing your soul. Relax. Good. So the way he sees it, if you're frightened of dying and you're holding on, you'll see devils tearing your life away. But if you've made your peace, then the devils are really angels, freeing you from the earth. It's just a matter of how you look at it, that's all. So don't worry, okay? Okay?
And Barker Street, named after Clive Barker, famous for Hellraiser.
Jesus wept.
Naming streets like this is not new for the series. The original streets of Silent Hill are also named in a similar fashion. Check out Voidburger's videos from her Silent Hill 1 LP located in the details section of this video to make your brain bigger. As you might have guessed, the weapons in Homecoming follow a standard formula. You've got the speedy yet weak knife, the slower yet stronger pipe, and finally the very slow but very strong fire axe. It's because of its speed that the fire axe doesn't get much play in Homecoming, though there are some instances where whipping it out is very helpful, like when an enemy has been knocked over. The payoff comes when landing a hit with the fire axe. The damage, especially from a fully charged hard swing, is devastating, and can usually down enemies in 1 or 2 hits. Except the Smog. The Smog is insanely strong for an anorexic armless dude. The fire axe has only been in one other Silent Hill game, Origins, in which it was a bonus weapon acquired by getting the Fireman achievement. By the way, you should be thankful I'm not doing a voiceover LP, because anytime I use the axe I say, "Let me axe you something," out loud, which is not funny and possibly racist.